In a land far, far away, there is a beautiful house of stone, filled with grand entrances, tiny passageways, and crackling fireplaces. It sits isolated, surrounded by thousands of acres of countryside. In the winter, it is thrashed by heavy winds as the storms roll in over the hills, and in the summer and spring, it is simply glorious with snowdrops, bluebells, and even dandelions cropping up everywhere. I must admit, this is not a tale I am telling. It is my experience in Scotland last year. I call this one an ode to Scotland. It's been a year since I was in Scotland, and I miss it quite a lot. The previous 12 months had been a struggle for so many of us, and it got to the point where I needed to get away. However, we weren't quite allowed to leave the country just yet, so I thought I'd go on to the next place. My father had always spoken highly of Scotland and the Scottish, especially after his time in a Scottish university in his younger years. My mind made up, and with just my 2 dogs, I drove up to the southwest of Scotland, to a little town called Wigtown, where I would be for a while. It was a comfortable Airbnb with no neighbours and isolated from the village. The owner was lovely and had a sweet blind collie. However, I knew I had to make a longer-term plan, as I did want to remain in Scotland for longer. The people were friendly, as well as open, and they suited my Nigerian temperament perfectly. The months of physical inactivity and ill health had brought me down and taken its toll. I knew the best thing to do was get back out and get physical again, slowly but surely building up my strength. I asked around and applied to be a volunteer at a country estate. It was a country house about 7 miles away, and it was everything I'd imagined. It was very storybook-like. Red squirrels chasing each other around the woods that surrounded the great house, a river nearby, fireplaces everywhere, lovely hallways. It was very rustic and I loved it. I wanted to get fit and healthy again in a peaceful environment with books, horses, dogs and lavish fields, and I'd found just the thing. And what my benefactor expected of me in return was to keep the horses, ponies, animals well looked after and help her as much as possible, and it wasn't a boring task. We were all going through so much. It was a trying time, and everyone needed a bit of companionship and help and friendship, most importantly, and I found a lot more there than I was expecting. They say in life you do what frightens you, and that's what I've always done. Driving to Scotland wasn't the easiest feat. When I set off that morning, there had been heavy snow the night before, so the roads were still precarious. But it was England, and the snow never settles for long. So I knew if I paced myself and took my time on the roads, I'd get there. It was quite a romantic time. Horse riding, daily galloping across great fields, facing all my fears. Getting up at 7 a.m. to get the horses out and bring the horses in. Cleaning out horse muck. Feeding the horses. Pushing heavily laden wheelbarrows. It was just so healthy, wholesome, and fulfilling. I got lots of writing done as well, and my daily walks in the countryside gave me lots of bookish inspiration. However, life has taught me never to get too comfortable anywhere. I knew my time was drawing to an end, and we all knew it. My health was restored, my writing confidence was restored, and I was a whole year older and wiser, and the world was opening up again. The lead up to my last night there was slightly sad. But you don't stay where you are safe. I knew I needed to leave and continue forging my own path in the world, or else I'd be stuck there, forever entrenched in the stonework. I was never meant to be safe. I would never grow being safe, and we all need that. The summer was slowly drawing to an end, and we all had big plans for the future. And now, I'm in a completely different country, and I'm grateful to be able to look upon my time there. All the memories, the nostalgia that I have, and to be able to send postcards and letters to the friends I made there. Sometimes putting yourself in an uncomfortable situation is not about forcing yourself to do something, but it's more about getting yourself to a point or to a destination which is a sanctuary where you can slowly heal and restore. And just like that, I fell in love with my life and myself again.